What is up, Ravens Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Flock Talk. Today we got more roster moves by the Ravens. We got a bold prediction by Robert Griffin III and some interesting Jonathan Taylor news that might benefit the Ravens. All that coming up in this episode. So let's hop right into it. Obviously today the Ravens need to be down to 53-man roster. Now they have not released their full roster by the time I'm recording this video, so that might be a more of a reaction tomorrow as well, but we do have some updates that I will give you now. Everything that we have reported by Jeff Zrebic, so let's just hop right into it. This is the list of players the Ravens are waiving or cutting, depending on how long they've been in the league. But fullback Ben Mason, offensive tackle David Sharp, linebacker Christian Welch, Melvin Gordon. We knew that their running back room was packed, especially with Keaton Mitchell showing up and really looking really good in the preseason. I know he's got a lot of Ravens fans, including myself, excited. I think they have the strongest or one of the deepest running back rooms in all of the NFL. Unfortunately, there was just not room for a fifth guy. Melvin Gordon, still a good player, I believe, still going to garner some interest elsewhere, but just cannot have five running backs in this room, unfortunately, but I wish him the best going forward. They offensive lineman Tykeem Doss, Kevin Seymour, but Zrebic reports he could return later on in the week when players hit IR. He played really well on special teams and just played really well this summer. So there's a good chance he returns at least to the practice squad. And here's one that I know Ravens fans were kind of expecting, and that's James Prochet is being waived. So kind of a sad ending. I know a lot of Ravens fans really were rooting for James Prochet, myself included. Unfortunately, it just did not work out in Baltimore. Hopefully, a change of scenery is what he needs to revitalize his career and really take off. I hope. It just looked like he had lost his confidence by the end here, but I'm rooting for him. I wish him nothing but the best. Unfortunate that it ended the way it did, but hopefully change of scenery, different voice in his ear. Maybe that's what he needs. I hope, but wish him the best going forward. Tight end Travis Vokalek. He's another guy that played really well this preseason, but the Ravens already have a loaded tight end room. So similar to the running back situation, there's just not a room for a fourth here, but he's a guy that I think will definitely be picked up and other teams will be interested because he looked really good in the I know it's preseason, but still did not look bad whatsoever. To finish off the list, Sean Ryan, Jeremiah Moon, Sam Mustipher, Laquan Treadwell is expected to sign to the practice squad tomorrow. And defensive end Brent Urban. He's also expected back when some Ravens are placed on IR later this week. So that's what we have so far today. They have not released their full roster, like I said, by the time I'm recording this. So we're going to give you the rest of that reaction probably tomorrow. Now on to a big prediction by Robert Griffin III. He said on the Rich Eisen show that if the Ravens stay healthy, that he expects them to win a Super Bowl. Now that's something I know I've said a lot in, not just me. It's not, I didn't start, but it's something I echo that sentiment completely. The only thing I think that's going to hold the Ravens back this season is health. And, that goes for every team. Obviously, you can have the best roster. Any team in the NFL that's a Super Bowl contender is reliant on being pretty healthy. So, that's not the Ravens. That's not special to just the Ravens. But this team goes as Lamar Jackson goes. And his health is so important. We've seen that the last 2 years when they've been leading the division and right up near or at the top of the AFC. And then he goes out and then they kind of snowball down. So this team goes as Lamar Jackson goes. I'm going to read you the quote from Robert Griffin III on the Rich Eisen show, and then I'll give a little more reaction to it. He said, "I just think Lamar Jackson with those weapons, if he stays healthy the entire season, he now has the Jimmies and the Joes to help him in the playoffs. X's and O's has always got them there, and his obviously unique ability, but now he's got the Jimmies and the Joes that can make some plays when you need them late in the playoffs like we've seen from all the other Super Bowl winning teams." And I completely agree with that. Lamar Jackson has really carried this team at times because they have not had that skill on the offense that a lot of other teams, especially Super Bowl winning teams, have had. And so it's kind of been a one-man show with Lamar. So now he has playmakers that, he just gives them the ball and they can help carry this load as well. And hopefully everyone stays healthy. We know OBJ's history. Rashad Bateman has had his fair share of injuries. Of course, JK's hopefully going to have his first full season since his rookie year. So health is really going to be important for this team. But if they stay healthy, the sky is the limit for this team. It's going to feel like Super Bowl or bust. At least Super Bowl appearance or bust. And I know nobody wants to, we don't want to just shoot for an appearance. We want to win it. And I get that. I'm there with you. But health is important. But I agree. He has the guys now that can make plays. And that's what makes this so exciting. It's going to be so dynamic. It's not just going to be... Lamar's still there. That dynamic guy that has done so much in the NFL, leading this team, carrying this offense, is still there. But guess what? Now there's so much skill on the outside and in the backfield. It's exciting. And a new system that's going to involve all of that and put it all together. I can't wait. We just saw a fraction of it in the preseason with the backups, and I'm already excited. So I agree with him. The sky's the limit. Super Bowl is the limit, and health is going to be, first and foremost for this team. But we will have to wait and see. Hopefully that all works out. For our final story today, about Jonathan Taylor. The Colts have now put him on the non-football injury list. So he's going to miss the first 4 games of the year. As we all know they're trying to trade him and all that good stuff. It's not really materializing the way that maybe they had hoped. So he's out the first 4 games. Of course, they got Baltimore at Baltimore week 3. So this could help the Ravens. That's one less guy that, they're going to have to worry about. But I've seen several things about Jonathan Taylor potentially landing at the Ravens. When he first announced that he was requesting a trade, or it was released that he was requesting a trade, Vegas put the Ravens, I think, as like the 3rd highest odds to get him. And I saw some articles, talking about why the Ravens should, or what the Ravens should trade. Maybe this is a unpopular opinion amongst Ravens fans. All the Ravens fans in the comments, let me know, do you think the Ravens should trade for Jonathan Taylor? And if so, what are you willing to give up for Jonathan Taylor? With that being said, I don't think the Ravens should trade for Jonathan Taylor. Okay, I've been on here very adamant that I am a huge J.K. Dobbins fan, so this might be kind of a homer take because I've been a fan of J.K. since his college days, but I think J.K. has potential to be one of the best backs in the league. Is he going to lead the NFL in rushing? No. Not because he's not good enough, but because the Ravens do a very good job rotating their backs. And this goes back to the health of the running backs. Hopefully everyone stays healthy, but it's not just a one-man show in Baltimore in the backfield. They distribute the carries pretty well. Now, J.K. is going to be the guy, but he's not going to be the only guy back there. They have other options that are very good as well. But I think J.K.'s talent could be very comparable to Jonathan Taylor. Of course, Jonathan Taylor in 2021 led the league in rushing, and I give him his flowers for that. He's a very good running back. But what are you going to have to give up to get him? J.K., I would assume, they also want first-round pick. Now, you're not going to give up J.K. and a first-round pick. And you're not going to give up a first-round pick for a running back. Also, they've been in a little back and forth with J.K. about contract. We all know what the running back market is in this current NFL. Nobody is paying running backs, top dollar. Super Bowl winning teams have shown they don't need a top paid running back or top 5 running back on their roster to win a Super Bowl. So nobody's paying them. Now, I don't blame these guys for wanting to go get what they think they're worth. That's fine. But at this point, the market of the NFL is determining they're not worth $20 million a year. Now, I saw some reports that said he could want up to $20 million, Jonathan Taylor. Some that said he could want, around $15 million. My understanding is JK's not asking for that much. Now, JK's had his injury history, so I understand why they're not extending him. But why would you give up JK, maybe a pick to go with it, to bring in a guy that wants big money for a running back for a position that nobody's paying for? And you're going to have to pay him after that. You just gave up assets to get him. I don't think it makes sense for the Ravens. I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think it's on their radar whatsoever. I think Eric DeCosta, he looks over everything. But I don't think this is on the Ravens' serious radar. I think it would be a bad move. I think they have more than enough in their backfield to make a playoff run as is, and to bring in a guy that wants top dollar. Like I said, I don't blame him for wanting that, but I don't think the Ravens should go for it. I don't think they will. But like I said, I want to know your thoughts in the comments if you think they should and what you would be willing to give up if, you know, they were to go that route. But that's all I got today in this episode of Flock Talk. Thank you so much for watching, taking your time out of your day to watch. I greatly appreciate it. Help the video in the algorithm by liking it and subscribe. Make sure to come back for tomorrow's video, giving the rest of the reaction to the full roster and all the other breaking stories relating to the Baltimore Ravens tomorrow. See you in the next one.